This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel Strat-O-Matic Baseball Excel Game of the Week.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the 1979-82 Fall League. We begin the divisional series, and today we got a series. It's turned out all the division winners advanced to the division series in both leagues. No wild card teams won. So it's the number 4 Philadelphia Phillies against the number 1 Cincinnati Reds. I guess it's good to see all the division winners win. It means the cream does indeed rise to the crop. And you don't have any outlier wildcard teams breaking the party here. Philadelphia at Cincinnati. Philadelphia can boast a 1980 World Championship in this timeline. The Reds won the West in '79 and had the best record in baseball, of course. In the strike year, they weren't invited to the playoffs. Still a sore spot in Cincinnati. But, so yeah, both of these teams have championship pedigree. Could very well be the winner of this divisional round may go on to represent the National League in the following round in the League Championship Series to go to the World Series. Philadelphia used Steve Carlton in the wild card game, so he is not scheduled to pitch again until Game 3. Today's pitching matchups for the Phillies, though, off-season acquisition, first free agent they signed, Eric Schall, signed away from the San Diego Padres. 82, Eric Schall, 10-6 with a 2.64 ERA and 150 innings. They needed to upgrade their rotation, and Schall has a nice little career here. In '84, of course, he'll take his Padres to the World Series. And for the Big Red Machine, their ace, Tom Seaver, just seems to go from Cy Young card to Cy Young card. Now he's in his 81 season. 14-2 with a 2.55 ERA. Eric Schall, Tom Seaver. We're just going to get started in this. This is like classic baseball here. No reason to slow this down any further. Leading off for the Phillies, Lonnie Smith, 47's a K. Pete Rose, former Red, 68's a walk. B. Steeler, Johnny Bench is catching. It'll be Greg Gross. 111 is a fielder's choice. Now Gross is at first for Mike Schmidt. 2-2, grounds to short. Bottom of 1, it'll be Brett Butler leading off for the Reds. 56, double 1, base hit. He's on first. They have a +2 arm catcher, B. Steeler. Tim Corcoran's a good hit and run batter. He's going to hit and run. And that's a fielder's choice. Interestingly, both first basemen played for the other team. Corcoran did play for Philadelphia. Of course, Rose played for the Reds. On opposite teams. Fielder's choice as the hit and run doesn't work, so Corcoran's at first now. For number 3 hitter, Lee Lacy, another player that the Reds brought in from abroad. We see a lot of unfamiliar names on Cincinnati. We do have Foster, Griffey, Bench, and Concepcion coming up soon, but it's a changing of the guard in Cincinnati, for better or worse. Lee Lacy, 37 is a walk. 2 on, 1 out for George Foster. 110 flies a left. And with 2 outs, it's Ken Griffey. 57 is a K. They threaten, don't score. Top of 2, it's Bate McBride. 49 lines the third. Keith Moreland to fielding. 5-12 bounces to first. And Rob Wilfong, 42, flies to left. Johnny Bench, 57 is a K. Dave McKay, 55, triple on a 4. That's a triple! First big break for the Reds off the Eric Schall card. You got a run on a third with 1 out. Phillies going to bring the infield up. This could be a 1-0, 2-1 game. They can't afford any easy runs. Dave Concepcion, 69 off Schall, pops to first. And with 2 outs, it's the bumper. Mario Wills kid. 2-7, bounce to third. Well, we go to the 3rd inning. It's Gary Maddox. 56 is a bouncer to short X. Concepcion's a 1-30 makes the play. Larry Boa, 38. Flies to right. And back up top to Lonnie Smith. 68 is a walk. He and Rose have reached on walks to this point. Smith and a stealer. Well, you might try a steal against bench, I suppose. Get it out. Oh no, -3 arm. Well, let's just do it because you're Lonnie Smith and he often did some wacky stuff. And he steals second base off a bench. There's the wacky stuff we like out of Lonnie Smith. Mostly good, occasionally bad. Runner at second, and it'll be Pete Rose. 38, single one to 8, line out the rest. Misses it on a 10. He's a little ticked off about that one, to beating his old team. Bottom of the third, Brett Butler. 36 is a base hit. Corcoran's going to try the hit and run again. If first you don't succeed, screw it up again, I guess. No, hit and run this time is he swings right through it, and the guy has to steal a base, and he rolls a 4 on the stolen base, so he slides in. So Corcoran might want to ootsnay on further future hit and runs in this game. We got a runner at second now. Corcoran will swing away. 54 off the Eric Schall card. Homer 1-13, double the rest, and it is gone. Tim Corcoran takes Eric Schall deep here. The Reds brought Lee May back to play first base, by the way, but they put Corcoran in the lineup because, as you saw Eric Schall's card, he dominates righties. Is just okay against lefties, so that's why Corcoran got the start today. And for that particular dice roll, it's 2-zip. Lee Lacy, 59, second. George Foster, 2-4, left. And Ken Griffey, 2-4, second. All right, Seaver in the fourth. It'll be Greg Gross, 63. Pitcher X, Tom is an E8 pitcher. That's an out. Mike Schmidt, 49, pops out. And Big McBride, 59, bounces to second base. Tom Seaver in his glory here. Bottom of the fourth, Johnny Bench. 1-7, let's take a look at Johnny Bench's card of 1979. We could say this is the last year of the monster defensive prowess behind the plate, the -3 arm. From here on out, it'll just be -1 and plus something. But don't forget, you can still couple that with 22 homers and a 276 batting average, folks. Can't play the outfield anymore. What a shame. Anyway, 1-7 for Johnny. Homer 1-12, double the rest. It is gone on an 11. Over the wall here, and the Reds enjoy a 3-0 lead. Dave McKay, 2-7, single 1-7, lines out. Dave Concepcion, 54. Homer 1-10, off of the Schall card, fly ball the rest. It's a 14. This time Schall gets it to die on the warning track. Concepcion has power too, that could have been gone. And Bump Wills, 47 is a walk, a stealer, he's taken off. He's safe on an 8. The Reds got their wheels going here. Bump Will steals second base with 2 outs for Brett Butler. 2-7, Butler, base hit right field. Here comes Wills. Probably a 17, I'm guessing, right? Yes, he is. 17, 18, 19. 0 will score the runner. And it's 4-0 Cincinnati. Tim Corcoran, he's going to swing away this time. That seemed to work in the previous inning. 2-8 for Corcoran is a walk, and Eric Schall clearly struggling with this Red lineup. Has a couple righties up, though, and he's good against those. And he needs it here to keep the Phils in this one. 2 on, 2 outs. The pitch to Lee Lacy. 67 is a K. We go to the 5th, a 4-0 Cincinnati lead. It'll be Keith Moreland. 6-11 off of Seaver. Pitcher X again. Pitcher 2-8. That is the play. Makes the play. Rob Wilfong, 1-10 Wilfong, and there it is, folks. Base hit to center field, and 4 1/3 no-hit innings, no more. First hit of the day, third base runner overall for Philadelphia. Wilfong will stay at first, down 4 for Gary Maddox. 67 off Seaver's a walk. Phil's has something going here in the 5th. 2 on, 1 out. It'll be Larry Boa. 67 against the lefties. Single 1-6. Line out the rest. Rolls the 20. With 2 outs, the .339 leadoff hitter, Lonnie Smith. Here's the pitch. 64 off of Seaver's card. Homer, 1-17, double the rest, does not have power. So Lonnie Smith Doesn't have power against righties in this era. Eventually he has plenty of power. He's just a rookie now, though. So that is just a single dot. Could have been 3 runs. Turns to just 1 run. Big blow to the Phils. But you still got runners in the corners with 2 outs. And you still have Pete Rose by any other name. And the fans give him a mixed reaction here in Cincinnati as he plays for the enemy today. Here's the pitch to Pete. 66 off a Seaver. Oh, he hits his old teammate. Double 1-3, single dot. That's a single dot. We got a ball game here, folks. 1-run single. Runners on the corners in a 4-2 game now. You have to hold Rose. He's a beast stealer, believe it, in 79. So here is Greg Gross. Runners on the corners, 2 outs in the 5th. The pitch to Greg. 63 off a Seaver. Pitcher X. It's already set up for a Z rating, E8, and he makes the play. So Tom lost not just a no-hitter, but he also lost a shutout and gave up 3 hits in the inning. And he has a 4-2 lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Bottom of the 5th, the Reds. Their lead was cut in half. George Foster will lead off. 43 off Shal, left X. Gross, 3-8 in left field, makes the catch. Ken Griffey, 42, flies to right. And Johnny Bench homered his last at bat. 48 is a bouncer to second. Will Fong, a 2E20, makes 2E20, makes the play. 4-2 into the 6th we go here. Mike Schmidt had a big game in the wild card win over the Mets. Mike Schmidt, 48, finds the first. Bake McBride, 64, off of Seaver. Homer 1-7, double, that's a double. You know, of course, Seaver would know. His only kryptonite is the long ball. It's almost impossible to get a rally going. They did get that rally going here. And they missed the homer here, though. 4-2 game, runner at second. Tie run is Keith Moreland. 52, finds left. And with 2 outs, Rob Wilfong. 3-6, single on a 1. Lines out in a 3. So Seaver battles back in the 6th inning. Eric Schall is a start 6. We like him against the righties. But you got switch righty, switch lefty, lefty. This is what the Reds kind of wanted to do. Put the lefties at the bottom and the top. Squeeze the righties in the middle. And so it's Dave McKay leading off. 57 is a K. Concepcion. 2-9, let's take a look at Concepcion's card of 1979. A 1E30 shortstop. This is a weird era where we have like Templeton's a 1E42 shortstop. We have Alfredo Griffin's a 2E40. Some great ranges, bunch of errors. Blame the AstroTurf maybe, I don't know. 281 year though, with 16 home runs for Concepcion, B-Stealer. 2-9 here is triple 1-2. Single arrest, it's going to be a base hit. Now you got number 9 hitter Bump Wills. Again, we like the lefties to swing in against Shal. 3-9 for Bump Wills is a base hit to left field. Concepcion's going to go coast to coast. He's a 17. Gross has got a +1 arm. He gets it on an 18. So now you got runners in the corners. With 1 out, and you've almost broken Eric Shal. And he's really good against righties. The bad news is you got Brett Butler and Tim Corcoran to get through. Not to mention Tom Seaver's out there for the opponent. There's not a good feeling here. Well, you might as well take some chances here. Let's call it a day for Eric Shal, shall we? Get that, Eric Shal? Shall we call it a day? 5 1/3 innings. We take him out with a couple runners here. Reds strategically arranged the lineup to work. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 base runners against him. So Ray Searage will come trotting down to the Philly pen. Of course, they have McGraw, but we're early, so we'll go with Searage here. Searage was actually a Met in 81, 365 ERA in 37 innings. Would eventually manage the Pirates, I believe. Comes on in the 6th with runners at first and second and 1 out. Brett Butler will stay in the game. He's okay against lefties. He's a terrible bunter here in his rookie card. I guess he gets better at that. I would assume he gets a lot better at that later in his career. First and second, 1 out. The pitch to Brett Butler. 2-9 is a line out to third. And with 2 outs, it's Tim Corcoran. He's looking over at the dugout here. No signal from Sparky Anderson yet. Or is this Sparky Anderson in Detroit? Sparky's probably in Detroit by now, I'm thinking, right? Because Jack Billingham's in Detroit. That's how, in 79. That's how I remember that. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know who's managing the Reds. I guess I am. Looking over to the dugout, and the Reds are saying, you know, no. We're going to pinch hit Lee May in this situation. Let's take a look at this guy. Lee May, invited back to Cincinnati late in his career in the year of 1982. Lee May has this card. 308, 5 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 homers and 91 at-bats. That's making the most of Kansas City's Kauffman Stadium's AstroTurf. Clearly, if Lee May's getting 2 triples and 91 at-bats. Heck of a card for Lee May back in Cincinnati. 2 on, 2 outs. Do you stick with Searage here with Lacey and Foster following? No. We don't really need Searage. He's just a bonus pitcher. We have Dick Drago and Roy Thomas here. Still a very winnable game. So they're going to go to Dick Drago in the 6th inning to face Lee May with 2 on and 2 outs. Early moves in the first game, trying to get off to a good start. Philadelphia wants a comeback win. Here's the pitch to Lee May. 1-5! It doesn't matter. Well, it does actually. It's a homer automatically against Searage. Against Drago, it's just homer 1-10, double the rest. He rolls a 1 anyway, taking any doubt about that. How about it, folks? Pinch hit, 3-run homer. Welcome back to Cincinnati. Lee May, the big bopper. You don't have to worry about Brooks Robinson over there at third base. The human vacuum cleaner. He can vacuum his rug anytime. 3-run bomb, Lee May. And the Reds take a 7-2 lead. Wow. It'll be Lee Lacey. 39 is a walk. Double A Steeler will take off with a big lead. And he's in there. For George Foster. 6-10. Third X. Schmidt's a 1E25. That's an error on Schmidt. So now you got runners on the corners. That insult to injury for Ken Griffey. 1-7. Let's take a look at Griffey's card to 79. A 316 hitter, 8 home runs. Plays through to 81 before they send him to the Yankees. Or actually at 82, I think. Anyway, 1-7. Double 1-9 for Griffey. That is a double. And it is now an 8-2 game. And the bullpen has been doo-doo for the Phillies. Johnny Bench. 43 off Drago, left X. Greg Gross a 3-8 in left field. And he mercifully makes the catch. 8-2 Phils in the 7th. Excuse me, 8-2 Reds in the 7th. Lee May takes over at first base for Corcoran. We go to the top half of the 7th inning. It's Gary Maddox. 37, single 118. He gets it. Boa, I know you're down 6, but you're a 241 hitter. You may as well hit and run. It increases your on base chances. Hit and run for Boa. And he moves the runner up, what that's worth. You got a runner, you know, a B hit and runner when you're hitting 241 increases your batting average to 286. And that's why we like to find those guys when we can. Put them in that situation. Lonnie Smith, the runner at second, 1 out. 4-5 off of Seaver pops out, and with 2 outs, it's Pete Rose. 3-6 for Rose. Here we go at his old team. Let's take a look at the Pete Rose card of 1979. If you're wondering, he's had a little bit of an odyssey that he didn't necessarily have in traditional Major League Baseball. We included him in the Tom Seaver trade with the Mets, just because I just thought it'd be a good thing to do. Hall of Famer for Hall of Famer in a package with other players, of course. So Rose went to the Mets when Seaver went to the Reds. Played a couple years there, but we got him to Philadelphia just in time with his 1979 card. A 331 year with Philadelphia in 79. Also hits 325 in 81. In between, he has a down year and wins a World Series ring. So go figure that one. 3-6 for Rose. Homer 1-5. Double the rest. And folks, we got a Pete Rose dinger in Riverfront. One of his 4 dingers in 1979. And oh, the fans are like, meh, meh, we love you, Pete, but meh, meh, meh. You know, it's like It's 8-4. Phils are sticking around here. Gray Gross. 5-12. Second X. This is Bump Wills with 3-15. He makes the play. All right, it's 8-4. Stretch time here in Cincinnati. We have been enjoying listening to Bricks, a 1977 LP called Brick, featuring this song, Deucic, Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody, also a big hit off of this record, The Wonderful Brick. Good stuff here, good era. The Daz Band, disco jazz band, Brick. All right, back to the game. Dick Drago will continue. In the bottom of the 7th inning, he'll face Dave McKay. If you're wondering about Tug McGraw, he's had a really bad year. His ERA is 9. I'm not kidding. 13 runs in 13 innings. He is the great closer, and so we're going to have to use him, you know, when we need him. And we don't need him here, obviously. Dave McKay, 34 grounds a second. Dave Concepcion, 5'11", second X. This is Wilfong, a 2E20. Makes the play. And Bump Wills. 3-5. What a day for Bump. He's reached for the third time. 3-5, double 1 at 13's a double. Bump's at second base, back up top to Brett Butler. 47 is a K. Speaking of saving guys, let's save Drago too. We'll take him out after that. Top of the 8th, Tom Seaver, though, this is his breaking inning in an 8-4 lead. They have Steve Nicosia and Garth Orbs on the bench if they need him. But leading off in the top of the 8th is Mike Schmidt. 58, kind of a quiet game 1. He's guys the center. Bake McBride, 67, single 1 of 6, lines out. And Keith Moreland, 45, pops to first base. So Seaver, great start, kind of a rocky finish, but he gets through the 8 innings with a 4-run lead. Roy Thomas will come out of the Philadelphia bullpen. Pitch the bottom half of the 8th inning, save McGraw's arm. Roy Thomas in 79 was a Cardinal, 3-4, 2.92 ERA, 77 innings. He wound up in Philadelphia. It'll be Lee May. Listen to the ovation he gets. He gets a bigger ovation than Pete Rose. How about that? Lee May. Here's the pitch. 2-6 is a base hit. 2 for 2 off the bench. Mercy. Lee Lacy, runner at first. 49. Single 1 to 14 off Thomas is a base hit. George Foster. 46. Triple 1 to 2. Single ... Moses Sandals. Oh my goodness, folks. This red team is out to crush, crumble, and chomp the Phillies. Show them who's boss in game 1. The route is on. Ken Griffey, runners on the corners, playing back. 3-10's a K. Johnny Bench. 1-9 is a base hit to center field. That'll score another run. Foster just moves to second base with 1 out for Dave McKay. That's a walk. Bases loaded, Concepcion. They're playing back. 2-4 and Mercy. They get the double play. 2-4 is the 5-4-3 double play with the bases loaded. And yeah, it's just a 10-4 game, but that's all they could get out of that. In the 9th, I'm going to take Seaver out. No real reason to give him a complete game when he's giving up 4 runs. We'll let Joe Price finish this thing. Can start and relieve. Joe Price will get the 9th inning assignment. Price, pretty good. 87-3 with a 3.57 ERA for the Reds. He'll face Wilfong. Batting for Wilfong. Now they'll start emptying their bench a little bit. It'll be Mickey Klutz, the utility infielder. Mickey Klutz. 2-10, plays left. Gary Maddox. 3-6, bounce to short. And Boa. 66, flies to center field. Pretty easy 9th inning, and the Cincinnati Reds. They've won game 1 by a score of 10-4. Got a little hairy in the 5th inning for Seaver. Otherwise, the Reds were in control early in this one. Price 3 up and 3 down in the 9th. Seaver, 8 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, just a strikeout. No complete game. Roy Thomas pitched the 8th. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and a K. Bad bullpen altogether. Searage actually got his guy out his one batter out. But Dick Drago, inning in the third, he did not do very well. He gave up a hit, an unearned run, and a walk in that inning, plus another hit and a K in the following inning. And Eric Schall, those 2 runs that scored off the big home run, everything was earned in the loss for Schall. So the theory of Eric Schall against the Reds doesn't really kind of work out. They have enough left-handed batters to be effective. 7 total runs charged off Schall. I actually think it's 6, right? Yeah, the walk was Drago gets charged for a run and 2 runs off the other guy. 2, 3, 4. Oh, the home run is off. Is charged to Drago as well. My bad. That was earned. There we go. 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. 1009, 0108, 1015, 46, 1015, 46, 3156, 3156. Game 1. This is the National League 4-1 divisional round. Game 1 between Philadelphia and Cincinnati. We'll look at the team's records. We just keep adding we don't restart the stats machine here for the postseason. We'll just keep plugging in right away here. Reds? I didn't know for sure how the Reds were going to play. We know they're great in 81. They weren't very good in 82. 80 they were so-so. But yeah, they've overachieved, which is good. Reds are 21-11. That's scorching hot, really. I didn't expect them to be this good. 277 batting average, a 3.40 ERA. As long as you got Seaver Soto, you're probably going to go to the playoffs if you don't screw things up too much. You know, Seaver Soto, you got Ron Davis closing stuff out, and he's been a good closer. Not very popular closer, but very effective one. And Seaver's now 8-2. So he's got 8 of the 21 wins. My goodness. You got 8 homers for bench and 26 RBI. How about that? On a team where you would think by now, bench batting 6, you'd have George Foster leading the club in homers. No, it's bench with 8. 21-11. The Phillies scuffled at the end of the year against the Braves, losing 4 out of 5. Then they rallied for a day to beat the Mets in the wild card game, and now they scuffled again. In Game 1, still a lot of baseball to play here. The Phillies, where are we at? There we are. They're 19-13, hitting .298, but an unsightly 4.42 ERA. The Eric Schall experiment has been 4-4 for Eric. He's got an ERA right around 4.50. Hasn't really kind of worked out. Ray Burris really should have drawn the start. He's 4-0. He's out-pitched Schall. He'll pitch tomorrow. So Ray Burris has a good chance, based on his record here at least, of rallying the Phillies. Schmidt does have 11 homer and 33 RBIs in 32 games. So he's doing his typical destruction of the National League. Tub McGraw, like I said, he's 2-2 with 5 saves. That's too many decisions for a closer. Probably should be 0-0 and 9 saves, you'd think. 12 2/3 innings, 13 earned runs. Yep. He's been getting knocked around, folks. So that's it for Game 1. We're going to put you late in the game of the deciding game, or the first deciding game of this divisional series, so you get some more live action at the end of this. So stick around. We'll have that and the results. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time. Well, baseball fans, here is the box score of Game 1 you just saw. We're having a great series here. We're going to get you into some live action. The box score from Game 1, the Reds winning 10-4. So do the Phils have an answer in Game number 2? Here we take a look at that. Game number 2, Ray Burris, who was 4-0 on the year against Mario Soto. And the Phils have the right formula of beating Soto. The left-handed batters come up big. They try and put the righties on the bench if they can. And they find Soto all day long here. A 2-out, 2-run triple by McBride in the first. 2-out RBI single by Schmidt here. Speaking of 2 outs, in the 5th inning, a 2-out single by Schmidt and McBride. That's going to be just about everybody when you kill a team with 2 outs. And then Mr. Soto is pulled in the 6th inning. He's blind today. 5 2/3, 12 hits, 7 runs, and 4 walks. They dot the bullpen as well, do the Phils. The Reds have relied on their bullpen during the season, but it's starting to fail them here. Meanwhile, Ray Burris gets his 6 innings in, and they just finish this thing out. 9-3, not a lot of drama in the series thus far, as it's been 2 6-run victories for each team. We expect that to change once we go to the vet. Phil's now have home field, and they have their guy, lefty, on the mound in Game 3. Fred Norman for the Reds and lefty. Interesting game here. Defense plays a key role here. So in the bottom of the 3rd inning, your pitcher makes an error and you immediately respond with a 2-run homer by Gary Maddox, who's suddenly gotten really hot. Another Maddox homer. I think he had a homer in Game 1. But in this 4th inning, you have an error by Mike Schmidt, and then you have a 2-out single, 2-out single, 2-out double. 5 unearned runs off of Carlton, and the Reds are thinking, oh, we're going to steal this road win off of lefty. 5 unearned runs off of Carlton. Can Fred Norman last? Well, Fred Norman gives up a home run to Bate McBride, so Gary Maddox and Bate McBride are red hot. It's a 5-3 game, so after getting an out in the 5th and giving up a single and a double to Gross, they pull Norman. They think, you know what, let's convert this to a win. Let's beat lefties. Let's pull Norman, who's inferior to Carlton. And it just blows up on the Reds' face because the entire bullpen, it's Moscow, and it's Price, and it's Tomlin, and it's Ron Davis. It doesn't matter. Norman gave up 5 hits in 4 1/3. Their bullpen gives up 10 hits in the remaining half of the game. Every Red reliever gives up at least a run or 2. You had another Gary Maddox homer. You had another hit and double by Bate McBride. It is a 9-5 victory. Carlton had the one bad luck inning. Otherwise, he shuts out the Reds. He pitches 8 innings. His line, 8 innings, 8 hits, 5 unearned runs, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. So the Phils win back-to-back, and it is the Phillies. With home field, they can close out the Reds in a Game 4. Let's check out game number 4 from the vet. Here we are. It's Bill Bonham. Big assignment. Get back to Cincinnati where Tom Seaver's waiting. Bonham's a starter 6, and the bullpen, as you saw, has been pitching terribly. He battles with Dick Ruthven. Good news for the Reds. They attack Ruthven early. Single, 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 double, single, triple, double error, sack, fly. It's 5-zip. And Bill Bonham cruises through 9 batters. Now they start to tick away at Bonham here. Important 4th inning. After a single, center X against Brett Butler, he gobbles that up. A walk, center X against Brett Butler, he gobbles it up. Then Bate McBride, homer double chance, double, trying to score the runner from first, and who else but Brett Butler throws the guy out the plate. Brett Butler's inning here defensively. 2 great catches off his Z rating and a guy thrown out the plate keeps this at a 5-1 game. They pick away at Bonham in the 5th, single, double, ground out, and they hope that he can get through 6 innings. Gives up a hit and a walk, right about to hit that point of weakness though, and then Bate McBride, who was red hot, isn't red hot anymore. He gets a double play ball. So it stays that way. And finally, they get to Bonham in the 7th with a walk and a single. Dave Tomlin comes in. He does give up a single. It turns into a 5-4 game. So the Phillies go with McGraw in the 8th. He does fine. Bottom of the 8th, they turn to their closer, Ron Davis, the Reds. Haven't seen him much. They need him to convert a 2-inning save with a 5-4 lead. He gets a 3-up and 3-down 8th inning. In the 9th inning, after there are 2 outs, a walk, and then George Foster having a nice series here. Boom! 2-run shot, and a 5-4 game is now a 7-4 game. The Reds can breathe a little easier. Ron Davis converts a 6-out save. Ron Davis, 6 up and down. The teams are split the 4 games. Each team has won at home and on the road. It's been that perfect scenario. The first 2 games were kind of blowouts. The last 2 games were closer. It's been a great series, and the Reds have what they want. They want to go home with Tom Seaver, and that's where we're at. Let's take a look at where we are now. It's Game 5 back in Cincinnati. Now, Eric Schall got knocked around in his appearance, so Ray Burris is getting the assignment. Remember I said he was 4-0, and he won a game already in the series. However, it's been a different story. Bottom of the first, Butler triples, and with 2 outs, Foster again, another homer. Had that homer in the 9th inning, and now 1 in the 1st inning. Back-to-back homers for Foster, 2-0. Keith Moreland, it's a homer. It's 2-1. The Reds get a walk single and a single by Bump Wills with 2 outs. Makes it a 3-1 game. But then finally, Ray Burris runs into big trouble in the 5th. Lee Lacy, who's also gotten hot along with Foster, he triples. George Foster doubles. A couple more singles, and that's the day for Ray Burris. 4 1/3, and he's pulled. Basically, Eric Schall, now Ray Burris, to a certain extent Dick Ruthven. If you're not named Steve Carlton, you're getting knocked around by the Reds at this point. Ray Searich comes in, gets the final 2 outs, does a nice job there. However, in the 6th inning, the Reds got another run. And now this is a 6-1 lead for the Cincinnati Reds, as Philadelphia's pitching has failed them at the worst time. We go to the 7th inning. Tom Seaver is still in the game. The solo homer by Moreland and a couple singles. Tom Seaver's a starter 8. Might go for the complete game here. And we'll continue at the top of the 7th, where the Phillies need a improbable comeback down 6-1. It'll be Rob Wolfong leading off. 55 off, Seaver's a K. Gary Maddox. 110's a base hit. Boa, down 5. Probably will hit and run just to increase his batting average, which I like to do. A 241 hitter, but as a B-hit runner, it turns into a 286 hitter. So let's hit and run, even though it's going to be the 10 roll. It's a foul out, pop out. So you still got to run at first with 2 outs, and Lonnie Smith. 312 for Lonnie Smith is a double to right field. Now, you probably should run this guy against Griffey. It is Maddox. Yes, he's going to run, and he's going to score. Oh, we got a 6-2 game. We're within the Grand Slam with Mike Schmidt on the horizon. Runner at second, 2 outs. Seaver's a starter 8. He'll have to deal with Pete Rose. 65, and Rose hits the Seaver card. Triple, 1-8 double. That's a 2-base hit. Then here come the Phils. It is 6-3 now, as Seaver gets knocked around in the 7th after 2 outs. If Gross reaches, Schmidt would represent the tie run. Rose at second, 2 outs in a 6-3 game. The pitch to Greg Gross. 65, and he hits Seaver again, who's run out of gas at a worst possible time for Cincinnati. Triple, 108 double, the rest again, another double. And this is the battle we wanted. This is Philadelphia's best shot. It's Mike Schmidt. Have we showed you his card? I hope we have. Let's take a look at Mike Schmidt. 1981 card here. Down 5 in the 7th inning. Schmidt has a chance to tie this thing with one of those big swings. 81, 316, 31 home runs, and just 354 at-bats. Tom Seaver, he is going to battle him. He is responsible for this mess. This is his team now. He's the leader of this Cincinnati team, and he's got to make the pitch to Mike Schmidt in this situation. In a 6-4 game with Greg Gross at second, Mike Schmidt, here is the pitch. 110 for Schmidt. Another triple chance. By the way, that's 3 consecutive triple chances. 110, triple 1-4. It's single ... We got a 1-run game. And now everybody's looking at the dugout going, he's got nothing. Seaver doesn't have a thing here. Can't give him a point of weakness. He's a starter 8, and he pitched brilliantly earlier than that. It's a kind of a Grady Little moment. Big McBride hits lefties well. Johnny Bench is catching, so Mike Schmidt is a B Steeler's not going to steal second. It is 6-5. Dare you go to a lefty in this situation with 7 outs to get in a 1-run game? I think it's Seaver after the mound visit. He's still out there. It's beat Tom Seaver in the 7th inning. You know, you hitched your wagon to this guy. Let's see it happen. Can they beat Tom Seaver in the 7th inning with a 5-run lead? Bake McBride with Schmidt at first, being held on. Don't want the tie run in scoring position. The pitch to Bake McBride. 1-9, another hit. A base hit in a right field. Schmidt will not make the final out at third. And it's down to Keith Moreland, who at least is right-handed. And this will be, when a team bats around, that's another point of weakness deal. So Moreland would be the final batter here in this inning in a 6-5 game. And we're going to pitch to him. Keith Moreland. Incredible. 2 outs, 5 straight hits. 6-5, 2 on, 2 outs. The pitch to Keith Moreland. 2-5, and that is a strikeout. And an exhausted Seaver exits the mound like Muhammad Ali on that stool in the Thrill of the Manila, realizing that Joe Frazier didn't come out for the final round. But Muhammad Ali probably wouldn't have either. Seaver, he gets the towel. He is exhausted after the Phillies knock him around in the top of the 7th inning. So it's a 1-run affair, folks. Wow, you got magic here. And it looks like it's going to end up being a battle of bullpens. So, bottom of the 7th, Roy Thomas is in relief after Searage was pulled. Roy Thomas is a relief 3. Eventually, pretty much looks like Tug McGraw will get in this game at a certain point. But Roy Thomas will continue. 6-5. Here's the pitch to Johnny Bench. 38, single 1 to 14. He gets a base hit. Now you have Dave McKay. He's 2 for 3 today. 57 off Thomas is a K. Concepcion. 57 is another K. And with 2 outs, it's Bump Wills. 65 flies to left field. Red fans are getting nervous here. It seemed pretty automatic. It turned into anything but in a 6-5 affair. Seaver's gone as the Phils bat around in the 7th. So you're going to have to beat the red bullpen. No limitation here in a game 5. We're going to start with Dave Tomlin, though. We like Dave Tomlin for Wilfong, Maddox, Boa, and Smith, and then probably switch it over to Ron Davis after that. So Dave Tomlin, Rob Wilfong. Let's show you Dave Tomlin's numbers. 79 for the Reds, 2-2 with a 2.64 ERA and 58 innings, helped them win the National League West. He comes on in the 8th, and Wilfong looks at the dugout. It's a lot of doubles. They're gonna go right away here in a game 5 to the bench. They're gonna treat every out with value. They're not gonna let Wilfong bat against the lefty. It will be Larry Herndon stepping in the box. Let's take a look at Herndon here. 1981, he had 288 for the Giants. Really hits lefties well. Eventually goes over to the Tigers, gets a World Series ring in 84. But Dave Tomlin's good against righties as well. So here's the pitch to pinch hitter Larry Herndon. 4-4! Homer to 1! It's going to be a double! And the Phils continue the barrage. They started in the 7th. Now you have Gary Maddox. Actually, Maddox and Bo are probably both better against righties. You have a runner at second, nobody out. Like to get this guy to third base, the grounder to second. Don't want to bunt here. He's a C-bunter. Pitch to Gary Maddox. 1-9 for Maddox is double 1 to 17. Another extra base hit. The 5th double for the Phillies in the last inning and 2 batters, and we got a tie game. Oh my, folks, 6-6 as the Reds crumble at home. Seaver dejected in the clubhouse now, knowing that his failures and his exiting of the game by the team batting around against him. Oh my goodness. So now in a tie game, kind of house money here for the Phillies. You have a runner at second, nobody out. You really could bunt Boa here. And he's an 8-bunter. I'm going to bunt Boa to get the runner to the third base here. And the bunt is a 4, and that's going to be a base hit on the bunt. And a bunter rolling a 4 on a bunt without the infield being up with a runner at second. So it was a gutsy call to bunt a guy from second to third, and the A bunter gets the gutsy result. We got runners on the corners, folks. The Reds are imploding in front of us. The Phillies now have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 9 hits in the last inning, plus some batters. And to make things worse, you got Lonnie Smith walking into the batter's box. Runners on the corners in a 6-6 tie with nobody out. Oh my. Gotta bring the infield up and let Lonnie Smith swing away. Here we go. Here's the pitch. 38 is a walk. That'll just load the bases. And you only got Pete Rose up with the bases loaded, nobody out. Even a double play doesn't do you any good. The Phils take the lead. You got Gross on deck, who's a lefty. When Schmidt does get into the batter's box, I really doubt Tomlin will be pitching to him. Should be Ron Davis by that point. But at least at this moment, it still will be Tomlin with the bases loaded and nobody out. The infield will come up, and it'll be Pete Rose, who had the big double, scored, and knocked in a run in the 7th. Here's the pitch to Pete. 2-8, Pete Rose delivers again, a base hit to left field. That scores Maddox. Does Boa run against the -2 arm? And actually, no. Well, actually, hold on 1 second here. Road field, yeah, you got to run. Percentages say you run anyway, but there's nobody out, so you don't want to run out of this inning that you've just taken the lead. Let me just double check here. Boa's running. Boa is he a 17? Yes, he's a 17. So the -2 arm of Lacey. 1-15. He's thrown out at the plate. That's why you don't do it, folks. But kind of my home field advantage is that if you have a 14 or better, you run. Sometimes it's a disadvantage because you want to run and don't have the opportunity to. But then you get forced in on a 14 or better. The third base coach probably should have said, let's go for the big inning. But Boa ran through a stop sign on a 15, gets thrown out on a 17, and in a bizarre moment, the Phillies take a lead, but a guy gets thrown out at the plate in the form of Boa. Lonnie Smith goes to third on the throw to the plate. So let's unpack this. Smith's at third, Rose is at first. We do have an out, and the Phillies have a 7-6 lead. And you have Greg Gross. Remember, Herndon will take over for Gross in left field, so you can go to a pinch hitter here. Gross does not have a hit on his card against lefties, just walks. So, we're going to go Bob Boone. And the way this will work is Boone will take over at catcher, and Moreland will exit the game as well. Boone will be the pinch hitter against Dave Tomlin, and immediately they're going to go to Ron Davis. So only 1 out recorded by Dave Tomlin. Oh, what a disaster for the Reds here. Ron Davis, who pitched 2 innings yesterday, is going to be asked to pitch the final inning in 2/3. With runners on the corners and 1 out, they're going to bring the infield up. Ron Davis, really good pitcher for the Yankees in 81, 4-5 with a 2.71 ERA in 73 innings. Ron Davis will face Bob Boone with the infield up. Here's the pitch. 1-5 is left B question mark. Now you get on this guy. This is Lonnie Smith. Of course you're going to run him. 17, 18, 19 against the Lacey arm. And he scores on the 5. So Lacey throws 1 guy out at the plate, but not a second one. Got Rose at first with 2 outs. And it's Mike Schmidt. 2-run lead. 38, he Ks. Well, well, well. What a drastic change of events here. Look at the Game 5 onslaught by the Phillies against one of the best pitchers in baseball, Tom Seaver, and the beleaguered Cincinnati Pen. And it's a 2-run lead. And at this point, you just have to go to Tug McGraw, who's had a bad year himself. But you got to go McGraw here to get 6 outs as a relief 3. He was only the pitcher on the mound in 1980 when the Phils won the World Series in Game 6 against the Royals. 5-4 with a 1.47 ERA in 92 innings. And substitutions, We have all our substitutions in there. We know Herndon's in the outfield and Bob Boone's catching. My goodness. 8-6 game, bottom of the 8th. Tug McGraw, top of the lineup. Remember, McGraw is better against righties than lefties. So Brett Butler will swing away here, leading off in the bottom of the 8th. Pitch to Butler. 110 is a fly ball to right. Now you got Lee Lacy. 58 is a K. And now with 2 outs, it is Lee May, who he actually came in the 6th inning when they were knocking out Ray Burris and Ray Searage. But now Lee May's in at first with 2 outs and nobody on. And here's the pitch. 65 off McGraw as the sky to center field. It's very quiet. You can hear a pin drop here in Cincinnati as what looked like a celebration is turning into anything but. 8-6 Phillies, top of the 9th. Ron Davis continues. It's Big McBride. 2-7, bounce to third. Moreland, the DH, 37 singles. Now you got Larry Herndon, who came in last inning. 2-5, another single to right field. 2 on. Oh, Klutz, you know what? Oh, Klutz is in Smith's spot. I was going to say, where did our second baseman go? So Klutz will be put into the Smith spot with Moreland batting at DH and Boone catching and Herndon in the outfield. So here is 2 on and 1 out, and it's Gary Maddox, who had a big hit that started that rally in the 7th, and of course the big double in the 8th. Pitch to Gary Maddox. 38 is a single to center field, and you know what, folks? You just broke another red pitcher. Ron Davis is a relief too. He is just broken here. This is a nightmare. And it's the bases are loaded with 1 out. You got Boa, and then the second baseman Klutz in Lonnie Smith's spot. I'm just going to leave Ron Davis in broken. I just don't have an answer. Everything the Reds have done has failed to this point. Boa, 34, the infield up pops to first, and with 2 outs, it is Mickey Klutz. I think I will pull, just to get this one batter out, we're gonna pull Davis because it is point of weakness, and I just want to get this one batter out with Paul Moscow. He's a righty reliever who gets righties out, and it's Mickey Klutz, who doesn't hit righties very well. Absolutely have to get this guy out with the bases loaded and 2 outs. How many hits is this, by the way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 hits in the 7th inning and beyond. Oh, that is one of the most impressive performances. So, Paul Moscow will face Mickey Klutz with the bases loaded and 2 outs in Lonnie Smith's spot. Here is the pitch to Mickey Klutz. 1-9. Let's take a look at the card, folks. It is just Philadelphia's year or game. We're just living in it. There is just nothing we can do to stop this team. Well, at least for 6 innings, there was plenty to do to stop it. But suddenly, ever since I rebooted this broadcast for you folks, they're hitting about 700. Mickey Klutz was an Oakland A in 1980 at 269. And 1-9, double 1 and 2 is a 2-run single. This is just a stunned, silent crowd here. Nothing can be done to get the Phillies out. Runners in the corners, 2 outs for Pete Rose against his former team. 38, yep, single chance, 1-8. Mercifully, he misses it, and he gets out. Bottom of the 9th for Tug McGraw. He needs 3 outs with a 4-run lead. It'll be George Foster. 37, single on a 1. And he gets a single on a 1. So, single on a 1, line out the rest, and he gets it. There you go. That's how it starts, I guess. 10-6 game. Here is Ken Griffey. 112, center B plus injury. Well, being injured is probably not significant in a game 5. Down 4 runs in the 9th inning. But I'll make note of that if we go extras. Johnny Bench with a runner still at first base and 1 out. 2-8 for bench is a walk. And Tug McGraw is a relief 3. Can't hit his point of weakness here. Now you got Dave McKay. Basically, every option is right-handed. So you better go with a better right-handed option. But we're going to go with Steve Nicosia, as he has more hits on his card than Dave McKay. He also has a lot of double plays. First and second, 1 out. The pinch hitter, Steve Nicosia. Here's the pitch. 54 off McGraw. That's going to be a fly ball to right field. So it didn't really matter. And with 2 outs and 2 on in the bottom of the 9th inning, last chance for the Reds is Dave Concepcion. And here's the pitch. 2-7 for Concepcion is a strikeout. That'll do it. And that becomes a save, a 2-inning save for Tug McGraw, finally, with a very good, good relief appearance. And the Phillies stun the Reds down 6-1 with 8 outs to get. The Phillies went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They went 14 hits and 23 at-bats. Yeah, they hit 607, 609. The Phillies hit 609 in the last 3 innings, so off of Seaver and Tomlin, and oh my goodness. One of the worst pitching implosions I've ever had in a Strat-O-Matic game. My goodness, folks. The Phillies come back in a back-and-forth series. Reds won Game 1. Phils won Game 2 and Game 3. Reds came back to win Game 4 with Bill Bonham and fell apart here in Game 5 by a score of 10-6. We'll do the box here. Here we go. So Moscow got the final out. It was a hit, though. It was a hit to Mickey Klutz. Unbelievable, and then an out. So Ron Davis in the 9th was charged with 3 hits and 2 runs. In the 8th inning, he came in, faced Bob Boone, who gave up a sac fly and then a strikeout. So add a strikeout to Ron Davis. It really was Dave Tomlin. Tomlin was horrible. Everything else was Tomlin here. It was a Herndon. It was 3 hits. Yeah, it was 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 3 runs, and a walk. Wow. No strikeouts. And then Seaver threw 7 innings. Jeez. 1, 2, 3. But then this 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hits and 5 runs. Walk 3, strikeout 6. McGraw gets the save. The winning pitcher is this Roy Thomas guy. Came in and inherited the win. McGraw gets a save, a hit, a walk, and 2 Ks. Thomas, inning and 2/3, came in and faced Lee May, who have a hit and a K, 2 hits and 3 Ks. Really not good bullpen work for either team, really. Searage came on in. He did okay. He got 2 batters out there, but then gave up a hit and a walk in the following inning. A hit, a run, and a walk in the following inning. And Ray Burris ends up with a no decision after pitching poorly, giving up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits. But just gets 1, 2, 3, 5 runs. All were earned. Just dreadful pitching for both teams, really. Oh, who gets the loss goes to Tomlin, I guess? Yeah, Tomlin gets the loss. 1019, 0109, 1017, 614, 1017, 614, 4736. The Phillies put 21 men on base. The Reds put 17 men on base. In an offensive show in a Game 5. My goodness. Did not see that finish coming out of with Tom Seaver on the mound. And only breaking him by batting around in the 7th inning. You pretty much, most of the Hall of Fame starter 8s, you pretty much, the only way you're going to get them out in the 7th is to bat around. That's the only logic I use. My goodness. You could argue that Seaver probably should have been pulled sooner than that with all those triple-double chances, but you could also make the argument let him go out for the 8th inning, too, after getting some Gatorade in the dugout, but my goodness. So the Phils win the series, and they'll go to the league championship. Their opponent is to be determined. Our league is now hitting .271 with a .414 ERA. So we are seeing that offenses are beating the pitching staffs in this era, at least in the series you just witnessed. When we look at the overall records, the number one Reds finished 22-14. The Phillies, well, look at that. So you see how close these two teams were really pretty close until the final week of the year, when the Phils lost 4-5 to Atlanta. And now, of course, the Phils just caught up to the Reds. They beat the Mets in the wild card game, and they win 3-2 here. So that's it tonight. Break up the Philadelphia Phillies. They win the series 3-2, advance to the League Championship Series. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.